All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupagus show. I am One Bar with a festive Lupagus once again, and it is game day preview. We were talking Vikings versus the 1-10 shit Jaguars.
Yeah, they're 1-10, but every Vikings fan is nervous as hell about this one because what do the Vikings do every single year? They play down.
Shit the bed.
Down. They do.
Well, let's before we get completely into it, let's go over any storylines that this game may produce. Do you have any off the top of your head?
Storylines? Yeah, I got a couple.
Think of the promo on Sunday morning where they're pimping up this game. Watch the Jaguars Vikings.
Well, I mean, the biggest storyline to me is that the Vikings are going to be a playoff threat. They have to win this game. They can't blow this thing. This is it. I mean, we've said, I think, I don't know, probably 3 times already this season, it's a make or break game, but this truly is. If they lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars, just hang it up. Don't even try anymore because there's no shot. So you have to win this game if you're going to actually want to make the playoffs.
Yeah. They have to win this game for many, many reasons. And making the playoffs is just one of them. But other storylines, other than the fact that they just cannot lose this game. Adam Thielen is back. He's back. Ezra Cleveland is back. And Mike Glennon is starting for the Jags. It's worth mentioning.
I got one more storyline for you too.
What?
It is the Toby Gerhart game.
Toby Gerhart doesn't play anymore. He
played for both. He played for both these teams. I wonder which one he's rooting for.
He should be out there for the ceremonial coin flip. Jaguars paid him a lot of money to do not much. Toby Gerhart. God, what a name. I couldn't believe it when
never liked when we drafted him.
It was just kind of one of those picks where it was like, oh, God, that's kind of weird, but he was pretty damn good in college. Let's see what he can do.
He fumbled a lot.
Oh, well. It wasn't his fault. All right. Well, let's get to know these Jags a little bit. They are 1-10.
Yeah.
I will say this: the 1-10 record doesn't do them tons of justice. They're not very good, but when you look at their scores, very close. It appears that if they play at the top of their game, that they can beat some teams. They just had been very unlucky with this 1-10, so they could easily be like 4-6. Same.
They hung with the Packers till the end. There was a kind of a bullshit call that went against them. They could have upset the Packers. I think they played the Steelers and played them pretty damn tough as well. So this Jaguars team, they're scrappy, and the Vikings cannot overlook them. Can't stress this enough.
Yeah, the last, I think it was 4 weeks, they've played like 3 playoff teams and they've hung with them till the. I mean, they almost beat the Browns last week. Mike Glennon actually had a pretty decent game for them. Overall, their one win is week 1 against the Colts. They started out 1-0, gave Jacksonville hope for the future Super Bowl. All that completely dashed. But when you look at their overall numbers, they're not great. I mean, offensively overall, 25th overall offense, 21st in pass, 24th in rushing, even though they got that stud of an undrafted rookie free agent, James Robinson. Defensively, they look like you do physically. They are disgusting on defense. They are 31st overall defense, 29th against the pass, 29th against the rush. That is why they're 1-10.
It's not my fault. I have my father's genetics, and no matter what I do, I can't shake it.
Well, your father's
always
a man.
I'll always look like a root mess. You said, at least I don't. Never mind. I can't say that.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Whatever you're about to say, I appreciate you not saying that. So, the Jags 1-10, offensively and defensively, just not great, but they can put it together. This is not a gimme.
It's not a gimme. No way. And it's not a gimme either. That sound I'm hearing, it sounds like this. Even on my journal, after giving somebody a physical, I am Doogie Howser. It's a 1-bar injury report.
Injury report. All right. Well, the Vikings, unfortunately, have 2 guys that are absolutely out for this game, and it is Irv Smith Jr., who just can't really seem to stay healthy this year, and the one that hurts even more than that, our only pass rushing threat, DJ Wanham, can out. That blows ass. Not happy about that at all. Other than that, we got Ezra Cleveland back. We got Adam Thielen back. Dalvin Cook's off. We're all good. Those are the only guys out. Looking for the Jags. They also have some guys that are already out. Sidney Jones, their cornerback, Devon Hamilton, their defensive tackle, the big rookie in the middle, Dakota Allen, and Korea, their linebacker, Ben Ellefson. I'm sorry, I don't know who he is. He's a tight end,
Perfect
but he's
name for
out.
Christmas.
He's
Ben
out.
Elfson. Elfson on the Shelfson.
Some questionable guys: Chris Connolly, Jared Wilson, and Jawan Taylor. So Jawan Taylor will be one to keep an eye on if he's out. That might help our shitty pass rush be less shitty.
A lot of people call me a questionable guy. The one that you didn't mention, it's because he's back, is DJ Chark. He's healthy. He's ready to go, which isn't a great sign for the Minnesota Vikings cornerbacks. This guy's 6'4". He's fast. He can go up and get the jump balls. I do not like the fact that DJ Chark is coming back for this game.
Well, you know what? There's another side to this, though, that Mike Glennon really doesn't – I don't think he throws it more than 3 yards a pop. So we'll see what happens. But, yes, it would have been all right if he was completely out. So that is the injury report. But maybe we should take a quick spin.
Well, I got to stretch my arms a little bit here.
Pit stains.
I don't. Pit stains. Quick trip around the NFC North. I hope you got your baggage checked and your luggage ready, because I'm going to stamp your ticket. All right.
1920. Why are you stamping your ticket?
No idea what that meant.
All right. What's going on in the North?
Packers are 8-3. Vikings are in second at 5-6. The Bears are also 5-6, but a much different 5-6 than Minnesota Vikings. And your Detroit Lions are sniffing ass with a brand new coach at 4-7 in the cellar, where they belong, where they will always be, because they're the Detroit Lions.
Agreed. But they did have Barry Sanders. We'll give them that.
They did. So that's your NFC North in a nutshell. Really, the only two teams alive right now are the Packers and the Vikings. The Bears looked horrendous, but I do think the Bears and the Lions meet this week. So a good chance the Bears do get out there losing skid and get to 6-6.
I'm not so confident. I'm not as confident as you are. I think the Bears are done for. All right. That was a quick trip around the NFC North. Let's talk about. I know. I'm just giving you shit. Let's talk about little Jags of the past. Favorite all-time Jacksonville Jaguar. And there is some dandies. Keenan McCardle, Jimmy Smith, Fred Taylor, Tony Baselli. Who you got? Who's your favorite Jaguar of all time?
There's Kobe Gerhart. Troy Williamson, all kinds of really good Jaguars. I'm going with Maurice Jones-Drew, the pocket hamster. Is that what they call them? Something like that. This guy was about 5 foot, like 240 pounds running back. He was their kick returner. He was their number one back. I had him in fantasy a couple times. He was fantastic. He just bounced off people, kind of a bowling ball type of running back. Could catch the ball as well. I loved MJD, and I still do.
Pocket hamster. I think that's something you bought on Amazon when you were shit-faced one night.
That was a butthole hamster.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was way off. Mine is Mark Brunell, the old lefty quarterback. I loved watching that guy. He just looked like a guy that you could probably sit down with and have 14 to 28 beers and 17 cigarettes, and he would just go out the next day and throw for 4 touchdowns. I just loved watching that lefty play. And he was a little bit of a scrambler, too. So Mark Brunell is my guy.
He was gritty. He was a gritty player.
All right. Well, let's look at the Jags roster right now. If we could take one Jacksonville Jaguar and take him from the Jags and put him on our team, who are you taking?
This might be the easiest one of the year for me.
Really?
Yeah. And it's Gardner Minshew, no doubt in my mind. I love Gardner Minshew. Here's the thing. The Vikings are going to probably finish 8-8, 7-9, 9-7, 6. I mean, they're going to finish in that range where you can't get a franchise quarterback. The Jaguars are going to finish where they can get one. If they end up taking Justin Fields, if I'm the Vikings, I am calling the Jacksonville Jaguars. Going to see what they want for Gardner Minshew. I love the way he plays. He's just a crazy dude. Looks like he's a ton of fun. He plays balls out. He'll sling that thing anywhere. I would love for him to be backing up Kirk Cousins next year. And you also have a guy on your roster who could potentially, I'm not saying he is, but could potentially be your future at quarterback. Gardner Minshew. Let's put the purple on right now.
You know what Jacksonville would say when you called them and said, "What do you want for Gardner Minshew?"
Hopefully a 7th round pick.
They'd say nothing, or they'd say, "Give us KJ Osborne."
Done. Call Adam Schefter.
It's kind of a little bit of a mystery why all of a sudden Gardner Minshew is just completely outcasted on the Jags. I mean, he is their third stringer now. They just want nothing to do with him.
He probably banged the coach's wife.
It's possible. It's possible. I'm going, looking at this Jacksonville Jaguar roster. They got DJ Chark. They got Taylor. They got Juwan Taylor. They got Miles Jack. I want any of those guys. I want Andrew frickin' Wingard. That's the only player I want. I want him right now. We both picked a couple of turds that maybe not for talent, but they just pull on our heartstrings. But Andrew Wingard will forever be in my heart. And he's going to have a play or two on Sunday, damn it.
Yeah, your love for Andrew Wingard. When we actually drafted the Wyoming safety that year,
Marcus Epps.
I never seen you so sad in my life. You were so excited.
I saw
safety Wyoming.
I saw Wyoming. When's the last time any safety from Wyoming was drafted? I thought it was only one thing.
We didn't even know they had another safety, and I had to.
I thought Wyoming only played with one safety.
I cuddled you. I drank your tears that afternoon.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. A lot of them.
Very
All right.
salty. Very salty.
Let's look. You got the new faces in front of you?
Oh, shit. No, I forgot to do that.
New faces in Jacksonville. There's not much. I mean, they had a good rookie class. Chason isn't doing much. Devon Hamilton's out. Other than that, there's not much to talk about in Jacksonville. Chenault, rookie wide receiver. Mike Glennon, actually, I think is new this year. And same with Tyler Eifert. But other than that, Jacksonville really wasn't that busy this offseason.
Tyler, what?
Eifert.
Eifert?
Yeah, so I just pulled the weight on that one for you, Lupagus, because that's your segment every week. You're lucky I
forgot.
All right, well, let's look at the actual game. We're going to look at 3 ways the Vikings can win this thing, 3 ways the Vikings can lose. We're going to look at a game changer and a bold prediction. But let's start with 3 ways the Vikings will lose to the frickin' 1-10 Jacksonville Jaguars.
Good news is that I actually did this part. Well, the first way they lose is if they cannot stop James Robinson. The Vikings' run defense has been an issue the last couple of games. I think we might be the only team or one of the few teams that gave up 100 yards to Zeke Elliott this year. The Carolina Panthers were getting a huge chunk of yards on the ground against us in the first half. And the game got weird the second half, and they weren't running the ball as much. This run defense is an issue, and James Robinson is a stud. He's the first stud of about 3 in a row the Vikings are going to deal with. And if they can't stop him, they may lose this football game.
Yeah, that's valid. I'm just gonna kind of throw out the easy one, and it's if they play down to the level of the Jags, and the Jags play like they have the last couple of weeks. I mean, they lost by 4 to the Packers, they lost by 2 to the Browns, they lost by 2 to the Texans. Chargers game was even close. If we do not show up with our A game, the Jaguars will beat us. They will.
Yeah, and I think to go along with that is my next one is just to do that, you got to step on your dick with penalties, with turnovers. You're not going to lose this game if you play clean, if you don't have any turnovers. But if you do, and the Vikings I think they've lost a turnover battle the last couple games. Look at last week against the Panthers, how the Vikings won that game is a damn mystery. But the penalties, too, have to go away. If you're getting flagged every other play, killing drives, with whether holding or offsides, false starts, whatever, you cannot let this team have any extra life. So Vikings cannot turn the ball over, and they cannot rack up the penalties.
Yeah, my next one's pretty much the same as your first one, unable to stop James Robinson. And my point is if the Jaguars are able to limit the amount of throws that Glennon has, and they just put it in James Robinson's hands, that scares me. I want as many throws as possible from Mike Glennon. So we need to stop Robinson right off the bat and let them beat us with the pass, because that will not happen.
Yeah, and I think the Vikings game plan going in has to be 100% to shut down James Robinson. I mean, I'm setting run blitzes every single time. I basically put Eric Kendricks on the line of scrimmage. I mean, that has to be the goal, to make Mike Glennon beat you through the air. If the Jaguars are going to win this game, they have to sell it to stop the run. So I think they will. The last way they lose, and then, this is a possibility with DJ Wanamoto, there's just no pressure on Mike Glennon. Mike Glennon is a statue back there. He's like 6'9". He can't really move. If you can get pressure on him, he does have some options in the passing game. He's got DJ Chark playing, LaVisca Chenault. I mean, Chris Conley even shows. Keelan Cole shows up every now and then. He does have some weapons. Tyler Eifert.
I'm sorry. Did you say Tyler Eifert's a weapon?
I said Tyler Eifert.
Yeah. Did you say he's a weapon?
Hell yeah, he's a weapon.
Oh my God.
If he's got time to find these guys, the Vikings could lose this game. So you got to pressure him. Denver has to step up. Jalen Holmes has to step up. Maybe Eddie Yarbrough will be active. I don't know who else we even have.
He will not be active. My last one is also pass rush is an issue, but I'm going to make I know we have a bold prediction coming up later, but I'm going to make a mildly bold prediction. I think Hercules Mataafa is going to be a guy to watch this game. I think he is going to be the guy they rely on to get on the quarterback, put him on the edge. So Mataafa is going to get a sack and a half.
Second half.
All right, let's go to 3 ways the Vikings win.
So I don't play volleyball with you. I set you up and you don't spike at home.
I'm sorry, I was really shitty at volleyball. Still am.
Yeah. You don't really have a volleyball body either.
Nobody plays volleyball. It's the worst. All right, let's look at 3 ways the Vikings will absolutely win this game, which they should. What do you got, number 1? Steal all mine again.
Dylan Cook is humming. He's due for one.
He's
had, an average back. You couldn't call the last 2 games turds, but for Dylan Cook, the last 2 games have been turds. He's got to get rolling. You get this guy. Jags are not good against the run. Delvin Cook, I'm expecting a huge game from him on Sunday. And to make sure it happens, I'm not going to pick him in any FanDuel or DraftKings or anything.
Well, it's very nice of you. I will pick him in every single FanDuel that I play. My number 1, the way the Vikings win is put the pedal to the metal. Put the pedal to the metal on offense. The Jaguars defense sucks. There's no way around it. They're horrible against the pass and the rush. Don't play down to their level. Don't come out and play this bullshit safe crap where they're running it 3 times and throwing a dink and dunk to CJ Ham. Come out firing that thing. They got to come out like they're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars and not just a team that they need to beat by 3 points. They need to get up big.
Well, you took my second one. You took my don't play down the level of competition. So congratulations, asshole. The other thing, too, is to get up big early. Put this team away. Make sure they have no hope by the start of the second quarter. Be up 21-zip. Come out fast, come out hard, and keep it going. Like you just said, pedal to the metal. Don't give them any hope. Why would you do that? Put your freaking cleats on their throat and make
that's a penalty. That's a penalty flag.
I was talking metaphorically.
Can't do that.
Anyway,
15 yards. 15 yards.
Get up big early. Don't give this team hope. Don't let them hang around. If they hang around, I will be shitting my pants all day long.
There's nothing worse than just having a nail biter against a Jag. So I hope it's a crazy blowout. I probably won't say pedal to the metal again for probably about 7 to 8 years, but I'm glad I said it today. My next one, I'm not even going to say, you already said pound the ball to Dalvin Cook. That was mine. Mine was basically get up early by 10, 15 points and then pound the living shit out of the ball to Dalvin Cook the rest of the game. So I'll do my next one is do the impossible and shut down a backup quarterback. Let's make this guy look like he's an actual backup quarterback. Let's not have him come out and throw for 325 yards and 3 touchdowns. Let's make him look like the player he is that the Vikings cannot do. I don't care if we got guys missing on defense. Mike Glennon sucks. That's all.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, Zim's history against these kind of quarterbacks is not great. You look at Andy Dalton came out and won a game against us. We've seen Chase Daniel do it. Just a couple off the top of my head. I mean, Nick Foles in the NFC Championship game did it against us. The track record is not great, but we're saying this all. We're saying all this stuff, and it seems like every time the Vikings are in this situation, they just fail, and that is the biggest worry. And hopefully they can just come out and just impose their will. Prove that they are a team that should be looked at as a playoff contender and not just one because they're mathematically still alive.
A snowman behind you just winked. I think I'd probably throw that away. I'd probably get rid of that later.
Oh, Jesus. At least they didn't get a boner.
All right. Who will be the game changer in this game? Yeah, I heard that too.
You might be shocked to hear who I'm going to say.
No,
This goes back to shutting down the run, a guy who we have seen flashes from. I don't think he will be a Viking after this year, and I will always consider him a bust. But Jaleel Johnson, I think, is going to have one of these games where he steps up, shows that potential that made him a 4th-round pick, and he is going to be fired up, and he's going to shut down James Robinson and the Jacksonville Jaguars rushing attack. Jaleel Johnson is going to have himself a day on Sunday afternoon.
I hope he does. I hope he rips shit up. I hope he makes a little money for this offseason in this game and shuts him down. I don't have as such high as hopes as you, but I hope it happens. I'm going with a much more boring one. I think Justin Jefferson is going to light this secondary up. I think he's going to have a big ass game. I'm talking 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think he is going to have a lot of fun out there. He's my game changer, no doubt.
Wow. All right. What's your bold prediction for this game?
My bold prediction is the Vikings put up 40+ points this week. I think it's going to be an offensive explosion in their pants, every one of their pants, including Zimmer. And I think it's going to be a fun-ass game to watch. And I'm not trying to jinx us. I'm not trying to go back to Buffalo Bills, whether it was last year or the year before. I can't remember when we lost those guys. I think this is going to be an absolute blowout. I think it's going to be fun to watch for Vikings fans.
Let's hope so. My bold prediction is the Vikings are going to give up 150 yards on the ground, but they're still going to win this football game. Bam! Woo!
All right. Well, there you have it. That is our game the preview against the Jacksonville Jaguars, the scary Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, again, this is not, I know they're 1-10, but it's not a team the Vikings can overlook. The Vikings are 5-6. They are no juggernaut themselves. They should win this game. Everybody expects them to win this game. We couldn't even skull with somebody because they were too afraid to come on and talk to us. Every sign points to Vikings winning this. But again,
yes, and be sure to check back tomorrow for our full actual game predictions. What we got shaken. It's gonna be a doozy.
Yeah, it's gonna be a doozy because we're gonna be wasted.
It's a good chance.
All right, so we know a couple things. We know the Vikings. We expect them to win. We know we're gonna be wasted tomorrow. And here's one more thing you can know: a mouth and a vagina are made of the same type of skin cells. You have a vagina mouth, one bar.